this episode of Social Heroes, we have Mrs. Satvika Gupta, a young change maker and the first woman safety professional in Asia. So when you first thought that yes, this is what you want to do and this is the career that you want to choose, so how was the response from your family, your friends, and how did the society react to it?
People literally questioned my dad, you don't want to get her married because definitely it's going to be a safety revolution. And I want to bring certain safety awareness in Telangana state.
Hello and welcome to PMC English. This is Ayushi Farasi and welcome back to our segment of Social Heroes. In this episode of Social Heroes, we have Mrs. Satvika Gupta, a young change maker and the first woman safety professional in Asia. So without any further delay, let's welcome Satvika Gupta in this episode of Social Heroes and let's get to know about her inspiring journey. So welcome to PMC English, Satvika.
Thank you so much, Ayushi.
It feels so lovely to have you here in our studio today and to get to know that you're the first woman safety professional in whole Asia. So starting with, what made you choose this path?
My passion towards this, like when I was young, when I used to travel with my dad, I saw a certain kind of passion in it. I was able to save people's lives like a patriot. And not just that, I was able to help people out in saving their lives. So that was the biggest thing. And not just that, apart from this, the curiosity of why people not taking out this path and why is it so challenging. That was the main intention that made me drive towards it, actually. Yeah.
How was your life when you started in this profession? So what were the challenges that you faced in?
The very first challenge I would like to say is like in a safety professional, being a female, it's a very toughest decision to be taken, because in the safety, if we see, it's basically a men's section because we have to work on field. So working on field towards all the climatic conditions, not just that. If we see in safety, it's all about like nuclear safety, even now corona or biological safety. You say even radiation safety, fire safety, construction safety, scaffolding safety, lights related safety. So there are almost around 250 plus safeties that have been there. So all of them are basically involving you to work physically on the field. So that was the very first biggest challenge. And not just that, apart from all these things, if we see in India, we don't have proper educational institutions over here which are providing the proper educational source. So right now we just have one in Nagpur, which is running by the government of India itself, like by the fire department, but which have been on a hold for many years, which did not work properly. And they have restarted it now, I would like to say. And not just that, even in India, like only level 1 and level 2, courses are only happening. So beyond that, there's no proper training and there's no proper certification, I would like to say. So I had to go to UK for obtaining my course in it. Yeah.
So when you first thought that yes, this is what you want to do and this is the career that you want to choose, so how was the response from your family, your friends, and how did the society react to it?
So the very first thing I would like to say is like as you know already, as I did not mention it over here, but yeah, I would like to share one thing. My father was previously a marketing executive, one of the companies related to the safety. And then he thought he should start up his own and he started his journey as a normal middle class person. When I've been through this field, not only being unique, when I said you that we are able to save the people, in what terms, telling them what is the importance of life and what are the mistakes, basic rules that you need to follow in terms of safety, like to save your life. even now you see the corona, people are speaking about wearing masks, washing the hands, which is a basic safety, but which was not known to the people. If you see in Japan, they wear it regularly, but here in India, we don't wear masks regularly. So what was the difference? That was the main intention. So I wanted to get that change in people where, they are missing out that point, like what is the main difference that they are seeing. And not just that, if you see in this safety field, the very other perspective is like, if you want to get out few things, like even during COVID times, I would like to say, like, I was the first person to even tell that, this was the COVID, which will even transfer. It's an airborne thing. So that there has been an even issue, like how can you even tell people that it's an airborne? So people were even not ready to accept the basic facts that we are going through in terms of safety,
Right.
which are life changing. We have seen many people losing their lives as well.
Right.
So that is the best example. So how society reacted? Obviously, what is this field? Can you even earn in this field? You know what? Like, I don't want to name specifically which officer, but in government itself, working in disaster management itself, I have met a person in a proper position. I just don't want to name. They themselves, they asked me that, is there something called safety officer, or you named yourself for it? So I felt very bad because people over here doesn't know what exactly a safety officer means, or what their role is,
Right.
what their changes that have been taken place. But I would like to say, yeah, this COVID has been given a chance to the people that safety is something very prayer, and people learned something out of it. So people at least got to know there's something called apart. They just got to know that doctors are part of it, but there are also people like us, safety officers,
Yes.
who created the norms and regulations in it. Yeah.
So, Satvika, as you mentioned that, the society was not that welcoming when you choose this profession. So, how did you overcome that phase of your life where people were against you choosing this profession?
First and foremost thing, people weren't against, but they weren't aware. They don't know what it exactly means.
Yes.
And not just that, they were clueless, like, is there something called in this field, like, do you even have a future, or what do you mean exactly, can you earn? And you say you are helping people in which terms? So you say even you are into different, like, 200 fields or something like that. So how are you justifying yourself in those fields? But the major thing is, like, as I said you before, like, I did my level 7, that is occupational health, safety and environmental management from Middlesex University. So as we have done, that's like a doctorate in safety. So just because of that, I have knowledge over all these different kinds of safety related issues that have been happening in these 250 kinds of different related safety issues. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned about the levels, for the audience who don't know what